cool.
POs.
Chug, 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 chug.
Oh, don't chug up on that.
It came white.
We're ready to believe you.
We're back with another episode of Ready to Believe. I'm Jamie Pale Rider.
I'm Rob Williams.
And today we're talking about just kind of random accessories.
P-hoses.
P-hoses, for sure. Don't put your mouth on that.
Already did.
So yeah, today is kind of just a mishmash of talking about random accessories. Mostly things to do with what goes on the belt. They have a lot of stuff that they have on their belts. They take up a lot of real estate for sure. And the leg connector and leg hose as well, just kind of for fun as well. So first off, so again, a lot of this stuff was gotten off of GB fans. Like I've said in the past, they're pretty much a one-stop shop. And in this regard, they're no exception. So first things first, I've got the chemical gloves. These are straight off GB fans.
They look just like regular gloves, though.
They're specifically military style chemical gloves.
Okay.
So they're big. That's fine. In a lot of shots in the movie, you see them just kind of hanging off their belt.
Gotcha.
Or I think at the end of the first one, when they're fighting Gozer, they're actually wearing them.
Oh, okay. So pretty much they're not wearing them unless it was that.
So like in the Sedgwick, at least a couple of them are just kind of wearing them just on the belt.
Gotcha.
In the Gozer fight, they're wearing them.
Okay.
So yeah, these are super cheap. Again, I don't remember prices. It's been a while. Off of GB fans. So, one other thing from GB fans, they actually arrived with some writing. I've got some photos that we can share. Just basically like disclaimer, like manufacturer writing in white.
Was it like written in chalk or something, or
almost
or
like a paint?
Oh, okay. Right.
So I ended up just taking some
Gotcha.
like acetone, like nail polish remover, basically, and just rubbing.
So
the
standard warnings or
yes.
stuff. Oh, okay,
Yeah,
gotcha,
totally.
gotcha. They don't have that normally on the gloves?
No, as far as I could tell from the screenshots, the gloves were just plain black. I couldn't see any writing on there, so I just took the writing off.
And acetone just took it right off, no problems.
Yeah.
Okay.
So with the acetone, just make sure that you're wearing proper gloves and gloves that acetone will not eat through. I was originally
it's chemical gloves.
Well, these gloves are fine.
Okay.
But if gloves for your own hands when you're using the acetone.
Gotcha.
I did a bunch of Googling because my initial impulse was just to use like latex gloves. And I did a quick Google. It basically, will acetone eat through latex? The answer is yes.
All right, good to know.
So I ended up using like dishwashing gloves, basically,
okay.
And that was totally fine to use. Just rubbing it with acetone and then wiping it off. Yeah, and it came away pretty quick. It was probably 30 minutes, and it was done, both gloves.
All right.
So, yeah, not bad
Next
at all.
on the list.
Next on the list, we can talk belt. So this belt again, it's if you're Googling it or you're looking up where to find it, it is military surplus style belt. They call it a pistol belt or a range belt. This one is off of GB fans. I did get another one from Rothco off Amazon. The only difference basically is the color. So the color on this one from GB fans is more accurate. It's kind of a grayish, khaki-ish color, where the one from Rothco is white.
Oh yeah, that is very white. Isn't off white, but
Yeah.
pretty much white.
So it's the same style of belt. They're identical except for the color. So if you can find like a khaki or gray belt, they're definitely gray in the movies. They're pretty heavily weathered. So even the white one, like if you painted it or weathered it, I'm sure it'd be fine.
I just depressed myself trying to put this belt on.
Aw.
And it doesn't fit.
But again, I'm trying to make it as accurate as possible. So this is the one I'm going with. But yeah, I definitely have that one as a backup. Can paint it, weather it, whatever. Super simple belt.
It's cool style. I like the
belt or range
I
belt.
never noticed the belts were like that.
Yeah, they did in the movies. They did have 3 holes. I did see kind of in my Googling and my searching on Amazon, there are belts of this style that have 2 holes as well.
It's cool that the Ghostbusters costumes are designed on things that they would just find at a surplus store.
Totally military surplus.
I mean, with our Star Wars stuff, we're always taking stuff and putting them together.
Yeah.
There are some real life stuff, but then greebly it all together for other things. Here it's just like, we'll buy that, we'll buy that, we'll buy that. Give me 3 of them, put it together.
Yeah.
So
It's kind of fun, and it makes it look kind of worn, used, and that's one of the things that I really like about the Ghostbusters is that dichotomy between them all being highly educated, multiple PhD holders, but then they have a very, like when they start up the Ghostbusters, they have a very blue collar kind of exterminator-esque style to them. So very like working class.
here you got a rat
look.
problem.
Yeah, they're basically exterminators. Even Peter Venkman says that in the Sedgwick. When the guy with the cigar asked him if they're cosmonauts, he said, "No, we're exterminators." Someone saw a cockroach up on 12.
I know you sound kind of cosmic. All right, how about this?
Oh yeah.
I like these.
Again, thank you very much to GB fans for having stuff like this. So we have the elbow pads, which are just old volleyball knee pads.
Like I have a pair of these in white.
Yeah. So these would be super tough to find. If they weren't available on GB Fans. I actually don't know where the hell you would get them. The padding itself is super accurate to the movies. It's kind of got the 3 bump style in gray. The only thing that's missing from these that I've noticed in the movies is on the inside of the elbow, like on the elastic part, they all have this like black square. So I don't know what that is. It must have just been part of the knee
visual
pad.
design. Yeah.
I'm sure they just got it off the rack or whatever. They didn't customize the elbow pads because who cares, right?
Yeah.
So it's just something that I'll probably add in the future. Is just a black square of elastic or something like that to it. Just sew it on, and we'll be good to go.
And they look good.
Yeah, they look amazing. Again, GB
Are they
fans.
comfortable?
Yes, they're absolutely comfortable. Again, they're originally volleyball knee pads. We're wearing them on our elbows, so it's a little weird, but yeah, they're comfy. They're nice and padded. Yeah, they're
Awesome.
great.
How much?
I don't remember.
I gotta stop asking that question.
Links below.
All right, and then I guess fob.
Oh yes. So then we have the key fob. So I'm going to hold that up to the camera there. So again, GB fans, these are available elsewhere. You can find a lot of these on things like Etsy. Etsy is also amazing for Ghostbusters costumes. There's a lot of people in the community making things for the costumes, including key fobs, which you can absolutely get on Etsy. In the movies, you can see them worn in 3 typical styles. So I only ordered the one for now. I'll probably end up ordering the other 2 styles at one point. I mostly ordered this one specifically because this is the one primarily seen on Egon's belt. And again, like they're just random kind of key fobby things. They look almost like janitor-esque.
Yes.
Like you see a ring of keys on the end of it, something like that. Again, it's that blue collar kind of exterminator, cleaner kind of visual style. It looks like in some of the shots Ray uses his to hang his ecto goggles off of when he's not wearing them. But yeah, key fob. And GB fans, Etsy, they both offer all 3 styles.
Is this the last one?
Yeah. So now we're talking pee-hose.
Pee-hose! My favorite.
So leg hose is the typical name for it. So we have
Here, what do you want first?
So we have the leg hose connector. Actually, I'll take that off because that's so. Again, this is off GB fans. You can get all manner of stuff off Etsy as well. There's other makers out there that make this stuff. This is rubber, so it's squishy, which is really nice because on Halloween this was falling off and hitting the ground.
Oh, okay.
So I definitely have some upgrades to do in terms of attaching it. And then we have the hose itself. It's a yellow. So this is one of the differences between Ghostbusters 1 and 2. 1, the hose is yellow. In 2, the hose is clear. They call it the leg hose. The first one was yellow, so people immediately assumed that it was some kind of like catheter thing for when they pee themselves because they got scared. It connects to your kind of upper thigh, and the hose goes in one end, and then it's worn in various styles in Ghostbusters 1 especially. The primary style looks to just be just a single line, and it goes around in behind and just disappears into their belt. So it kind of like the other end is almost hidden by the belt or the bottom of the proton pack. So that's what I'm doing with mine, is I'm just running it up underneath the back of the belt. And then Christine was kind enough to print me off some 3D printed parts so I could connect the leg hose
So these are
to the suit.
3D printed.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So 3D printed with rare earth magnets. Oh, you stuck them together.
Come on, E-Man.
So basically she made discs that are the same size as the base of the leg hose connector. She made little recesses for the rare earth magnets. So one of this goes underneath my suit, and then this one goes on top of the suit, and then the leg hose connector fits to it, and then the hose has a magnet in the end that connects to this piece through the leg connector.
So, oh yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
So that's really stable. I think what was happening...
that's strong. That's
yes.
strong.
Yeah, and that's what I wanted. I wanted something that was strong, that was easy to connect, and if there was enough force on it, it would just pull away without damaging anything. Which, that definitely happened on Halloween. I think what was happening is this is not held onto my leg by anything other than just the hose
It's just
and the connector.
pinching around the edge there. Whoa, did it come off?
Yeah.
Oh.
So here...
I was going to ask you, how is the earth magnets attached? But
So the smaller ones I've glued in. This larger one is apparently not as secure as I thought it was, but it's held in just with pressure.
Okay. Maybe glue it then?
Yeah, I'll just end up gluing that in. But I think what was happening when it was coming off was as I was walking, like if you're just standing there still taking photos, this was totally fine. But as soon as I was walking around at a decent pace, just the weight of this thing was wobbling back and forth, and then it would just pull away. So in the...
Can you not just glue it onto there?
Actually, I've got a solution that is actually accurate to the movies that'll be super secure as well.
And what's that?
So in the movies, this is sewn to their suit. You can see the holes in,
You can
in
sew
the
that.
connector.
Hand sew it?
Oh, yeah, I already got PTSD. So you can see the holes in there. Basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this piece, drill some holes in it, and then sew this to this piece. So it's going to be secure to this now, and it's not going anywhere, and it'll have the threads, making it look like it's sewn to the suit.
Gotcha.
So yeah, that's my big idea.
Cool.
But beyond that, I did want to show the other two parts on the hose.
Oh, sorry. There you go.
So again, this is all, I've actually taken photos of me just scribbling on a piece of paper, trying to show Christine what I wanted 3D printed. So this is what we came up with. This is actually, I'm really proud of this actually. So this piece has a rare earth magnet stuck in the end, and it's got kind of a like a stepped, I don't know if it really comes in on the video, but it's got this stepped kind of thing, so it's easy to push into the hose but tougher to pull out.
Okay.
So it's got kind of a graduated shape to it.
We'll take a picture.
So that jams in the one end, and then in the other end she basically did the same thing, but instead of a magnet fitting in the end, it's got a hole through it, and I cannibalized an old lanyard. So I put, it's basically like a keychain ring with a lanyard kind of crab claw clip in it, which I clip to the back of my belt. So that goes in one of the holes on the pistol belt.
On the back there.
And then the hose just disappears up behind the
awesome.
back of the belt. Just like that.
That's awesome. So you're just collecting the urine in this thing then?
Oh yeah, we're just feeding that directly back
And then when
into
you're
the
done,
back.
you just tip it over and...
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's a comedy, so I'm sure it has to do with them being scared so much that they pee themselves. But maybe they got tired of the jokes, and that's why the hose is clear in number 2. Or maybe they're just used to the job and they're not peeing themselves as much. Who knows?
I'm just curious where the brown hose is now.
Oh, we don't talk about the brown.
We don't talk
hose.
about the brown hose. No.
No, we just wear brown coveralls.
Is that it?
That's
I think
it.
that's it, yeah.
That's it. That was a lot. Yeah, we threw a lot into
they're
this video, but it's
important
a lot
accessories.
odds and
so.
yeah, it's funny. You never really I guess when you're watching the movie kind of casually, you don't really even notice the leg hose. But as soon as you see it and you have it and you put it on the costume, you're like, yeah, this feels very Ghostbusters-y.
All
Yeah,
right. Well,
that's
there you
it
go.
for today. So
all links down below.
yeah,
That's
links
what you-
below for sure. Again, thank you to GB fans. Thank you all of the makers on Etsy. I definitely I stole some ideas from the forums on GB fans and from Etsy for things like these connectors. It's a really elegant solution. But yeah, I guess I feel obligated to say like and subscribe, help our channel grow. I'm not normally one for doing these kinds of videos,
And
but
share down below some ideas that what you've done for your costume.
Yeah.
Or have some ideas that
or
for
alternate
future-
sources
Yeah.
too. The community is great. There's a lot of makers out there, especially on Etsy, that are producing stuff and helping the community pull the costumes together.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you to all of those people. Yeah, until next time.
Until next time,
I'm Jamie Pale Rider,
Rob Williams.
and we're
We're ready to believe you.